Hey guys, thanks for stopping by Ballistic Barbecue. Doing a chicken recipe today. It's gonna blow your socks off. Let's get going. All right, now, at this point I don't even have a name for this recipe, but I will tell you it was inspired by a dish that I order at my favorite Mexican restaurant. It's really, really good. And the only similarity between this recipe I'm preparing and that recipe is the way I'm going to be doing the final cook. Right, have the chicken here, it's fryer, and what I want to do is cut it in half. So, first thing I'm going to do is butterfly it. I like to use poultry shears. You can use a knife if you want, and just cut down both sides of the spine. Right. Spine can be saved for making stock. All right, now, as you can see, at this point, the bird doesn't really want to lie flat. It's still being held by, the wishbone, essentially. So what we need to do is get it to lie flat. A lot of people, what they'll do is kind of push it down and break bones, and I don't like doing that. If you notice right here, there's a little notch, and that's a piece of cartilage. What I'll do is make an incision just right down there. Then, and I usually do this with the bird turned around the other way, just push it down like this. Now as you can see, it's exposing the keel bone, the wide part of the keel bone. So what I'm going to do, let me turn this around, is just run my thumb underneath there, down that cartilage, push it on the other side. There you go. Now you just grab that keel bone and pop. There you go. Very simple, very easy, and as you can see, that bird lies extremely flat now. This is what we'd call spatchcock. So what I'm going to do is just take my boning knife and cut right down the middle here. Now, the next process will be just cleaning up, some of these big blobs of fat need to go. Other than that, we're ready to move on to the next step. All right, so both halves of this bird have been rinsed, patted dry, placed in my all-time favorite 2.5 gallon Ziploc bag that I love so much, saves me a lot of hassle. Now we're going to marinate this bird. And I'm going to try a product that has been endorsed by a few of the partners in crime I have here on YouTube. I haven't tried it yet. It's a Frog Bone brand, and this is the Bayou barbecue sauce. I tried this out last night. It's got a nice sweet and a nice little very slight burn at the end, and I dig that type of sauce. I don't know if the creator of Frog Bone products meant for this to be used as a marinade, but take that. So what I'm going to do is get this coated on all the surfaces of this bird here, put it back in the fridge. We're going to marinate this for 7 hours until I get to the next step, which I'll show you in a bit. All right, guys. Apologize for Mr. Sun there. He's not playing well right now, but that's outdoor cooking with a video. Anyway, what we're going to do now is put this bird on the Weber. I've got a bunch of charcoal here, and I've only got one end lit. Call it kind of a modified minion method, a fuse, snake, whatever you want to call it. I'm burning it this way. Now we're not going to completely smoke this chicken. I'm simply using the smoke as a source of seasoning. And I've actually named this recipe now. I'm calling it Twisted Chicken. I don't know why. You'll see the next part of this is pretty darn cool. As far as wood, I'm using hickory. The reason I'm using hickory is it's a very strong wood. It's got a good strong flavor. Since I'm not smoking this bird that long, I want to make sure that it does take on some of the smoky flavor. I'm going to be burning my Weber here at about 250 degrees. Guessing 30 to 40 minutes, and then I'll see you for the next part, which is really cool, by the way. See you in a bit. All right, guys, so went about 35 minutes. And as you can see, I got just a nice light caramel color. And one of my goals was to, again, infuse some of the smoke flavor, but I didn't want to render too much of the chicken's fat out of the skin. You'll see why in a minute. So what I'm going to do now is pull the bird from the Weber, and I'm going to do a little bit of charcoal management here, and I will see you guys for the next stage of this cook. Alright guys, so at the beginning of this video I mentioned that the inspiration for this recipe was one of my favorite dishes at a Mexican restaurant that we go to a lot. Basically what they do is they take the chicken, they season it with Mexican seasonings, then they deep fry it in pork lard. So I busted out the BFW, the big freaking wok. Again, 22 inches of wok here. The lid off my Weber will fit perfectly on this. I've got it filled with pork lard, and it's cranked up right now. This fat is at 350 degrees. The smell coming up right now is just amazing, amazing. You can actually smell the smoke coming out of the oil from the smoking of the chicken. And believe it or not, I can actually pick up some of that barbecue sauce marinade that's coming out. All right, guys, it's been about 15-20 minutes or so, and this is what we have. Just look at that. It is gorgeous, 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 gorgeous. I did lift it just a few minutes ago and took its temperature just to make sure, and I am reading 165. So get this in the house, get it all plattered up, and give you guys a taste. Well, give me a taste. See you in there. All right, guys, and here it is. It smells so good. What I'm going to do is finish it off with a little bit more of that frog bone. I got the Bayou barbecue sauce, and I'm just going to kiss it with it. Doesn't need too much of this. Let's give this a try here. Take a little piece off this breast. See, it's still very, very moist. I dig it. This sauce is really good, by the way. This is something I love to do. I mean, I've done a few videos where I've smoked things and then fried them. It just adds another dimension. I'm going to leave the link to the Frog Bone Company down below in the description box. It was pretty inexpensive, and you know, it was a good site. It was pretty reasonable. They have some really good products. I'd like to try some other Frog Bone products. Anyway, guys, thanks for stopping by, and I will see you on the next video. Cheers.